Okay, good morning, friends. Shalom Aleichem. We're continuing in Mishna Daf HaShavua. This morning we begin Siman Tzadi Beis. Hanitzrach l'nekavav, someone who needs to go to the bathroom, someone has to take care of their needs. V'din rechitza l'tfila, the laws of washing for davening, ushar hachanois l'tfila, and other preparations. It says in Mechaber, hayitzarach l'nekavav, if someone has to take care of their bodily needs, al yispalel, they should not daven. V'im yispalel, if they do daven tefillah say toyeva, their tefillah is an abomination. Not only is it an abomination, so you say, okay, I'll hedge my bets, but maybe it will be accepted. No, v'tzarach lachzor l'spal, you have to daven again. So you can have two guys. One guy didn't daven, and the other guy did daven, and the guy who didn't daven is ahead of the guy who did daven. Why? Because the guy who did daven shouldn't have, because he had to use the bathroom. The guy who didn't daven did the right thing. Al yispalel. D'chsiv hikoin lekras elokecha Yisrael. It says in Amos, prepare toward your God Israel. Uchsiv shemar raglecha ka'asher telech el beis ha'elokim. Guard your legs when you go to the house of Hashem. Shemar raglecha. I think that's in Koheles. Ka'asher telech El Beis Ha'Elokim. V'amru Chazal, Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shemar nikavecha, guard your orifices, your holes. B'shah she'ata omed b'tefillah lefanei, when you stand in prayer before me. By the way, that's whether it's Gedolim or Ketanim. Not only Gedolim, or Ketanim. Shemar raglecha, kasher telech El Beis Ha'Elokim is for Ketanim also. V'tzarech, if you had to go to the bathroom and you davened, you have to daven again. Now, in our minds, we think that's only for Gedolim. Not necessarily true. There are those who hold that if you had to urinate and you davened, you also have to daven again. Some say, the Magen Avram, the Chai Adam, they say, only for Gedolim you have to go back. Not for if you have to urinate. The Yesh Cholkim, there are those who argue the El Yarabba. By the way, they just found the kever of the El Yarabba. They just found it, I think last week, in Prague, in the old cemetery in Prague. Anyway, the El Yarabba holds, if you had to do Ketanim, you got to go back. What do we do? What do you do? Look in the Bir Halacha, V'tzarach lachzor u'lespalel. Ayin Mishna l'inyan Ketanim. The hayesh omrim kama hu al magen ram achayim mistom she'en tzarach lachzor u'lespal b'diavad. V'hayesh omrim basu hu el yarav v'derech achayim miskim l'tzarach lachzor u'lespal. What's the halacha? Ve'ein kayach v'yadeinu lachriya b'nei. We don't know what to do. We don't have the strength to be machriya. By the way, I would have thought the Magen Avram and the Chai Adam maybe outweigh the El Yarabba. Maybe the Magen Avram outweighs the El Yarabba. No, says the Chavetz Chaim, we don't have the kayak to be machriya that way. Why? Ki after El Yarabba hevi b'shem chuvas razu chuvas Rama Menachem Azarya mipana d'soivrim kavasei. So now the Berura is taking the other way, that the El Yarabba has, heavy artillery on his side, namely chuvas harashba, chuvas Rama mipano. I'm b'magen gebarim of a sefer ma'amorcha sheveu harbe shitas risham d'som kavasei da magen Avram. Because if you look in the Ma'amar Mordechai, he brings many rishon that are like Magen Avram. Well, daitem afilam lo yachal ligmar tfilasai. There, the Magen Avram has support that even if you couldn't finish your tefillah, you had to urinate so badly it started dripping out in the middle of the davening. The Magen Avram has rishonim that even if somebody, it was so urgent that it started coming out, you still don't have to go back to the beginning. Even if you knew from the beginning. The bottom line is, if you have to urinate, you're not allowed to daven. Which means basically, before every tefillah, one should go to the bathroom. Don't say, I don't have to. You're not 3 years old. That's what little kids say. You're going on a 5-hour trip, Make sure everybody goes before. No, I don't have to. Then 3 minutes in, it's an urgent emergency. It's urgent, right? You have to stop immediately by the coffee store down the block. You can't. There's not even time to go back home. What? Same thing with davening. Okay, Baruch Hashem, you had your bar mitzvah. You have a driver's license. You're able to drink, so that you should take responsibility before every tefillah. You go to the bathroom before mincha, before mariv. Don't say you don't have to go. You're not allowed to daven if you have to urinate. You might even have to go back and daven again. Now, we're going to see to what level urgency are we talking about. But we already had in the Mishnah earlier, even the slightest urge to urinate, you're not allowed to daven. If you did daven, then, and you could have held it in, you don't have to go back, even for Gedolim. But if you have even the slightest urge, you're not allowed to daven l'chachila. Fine. You're machmir on everything. You don't eat gebrachst. Well, that's not in the Shulchan Aruch. What is in the Shulchan Aruch is if you have the slightest urge, you're not allowed. Now, it's been brought to my attention that when the Bir Halacha says Utshuvas Rama, it means the Rama Ramosha Isilis, not the Rama Mipano. Well, you got to give me enough credit to know that the next line, the next words are Menachem Azariah is the Rama Mipano. Okay? So the first Rama, of course, is the Ramosha Isilis. The second one is Menachem Azariah Mipano is the Rama Mipano. Yeah? Okay. So, weiter. Says in the Chaver, that's only if you can't hold it in the amount of time it takes to walk a Parsha. If you could hold it in 72 minutes, yatsa b'diavad. You're yatsa b'diavad. But you shouldn't have davened. But at first, don't daven until you check yourself well. Don't say, no, I don't have to go. You didn't check. You didn't sort of stop for a moment and determine. So you say, I don't want to miss minyan. Yeah, sorry. This is not up to you whether you want to miss minyan or not. It's up to Hashem. Hashem doesn't want you to be at the minyan. Hashem wants you to be in the bathroom. Sorry, I'm being so blunt. But if you have any urge at all, miss the minyan and go to the bathroom. Haga. Someone has to go to the bathroom, he's not even allowed to learn. So long as your body is abhorrent with excrement. Says the Mishna Berura. Hiluch parsa hu arba milan shushir shah v'chamesh. That's an hour and a fifth, 72 minutes. Now, by the way, you want to hear something amazing? I Bechlal did not know this. Remember the Bir Halacha said we can't be machriya between the Magen Avram and the Eliyah Rabbah. Says Rabbi Yashiv that if there's a machloikis hapois game, you need to go back and daven again, even if you had to urinate and you couldn't hold it in 72 minutes. Chidush nifla. Halacha l'maisa. If you needed to urinate and you can't hold it in 72 minutes and you daven anyway, you go back and you make a t'nai that if I don't have to go back, it's a tfilas nadava. I didn't know that. I thought we're mekel, safik brachas lahakel. No, says Rabbi Yashiv. Ein biyadeinu lahachriya. You need to go back and daven. And if you didn't, and you make a t'nai. Okay. What if, okay, weiter. Yachal lahamed. That's somebody who, if you could contain it, from the beginning of the Shemona Esrei, you could have waited 72 minutes. What if right after the davening you had to run and do your needs, and it was within this amount of time, yatsa b'diavad? Meaning like this. Let's say at the beginning of the tefillah, you had the ability to wait 72 minutes. By the time the davening is over, no, you realize you really can't wait the 72 minutes. B'diavad, you're yatsa, because when you started, you did it in good faith that you could have waited 72 minutes. Aval lechatchila, you're not allowed to daven even if you could hold it in 72 minutes. So let's say you could hold it in for 3 hours. If you have even the slightest urge to go to the bathroom, you can't daven. Okay, I want to reiterate this halacha because I don't think people are aware of it. If you have the slightest urge, whether for gedolim, whether to defecate or to urinate, you're not allowed to daven. What if by going to the bathroom now, I'm going to miss minyan? You know what miss minyan means. Even if it means you're not going to start Shemona Esrei with the tzibor, certainly if you're not going to miss the minyan entirely, it's better to daven with a clean body than to daven with a minyan. I don't care if you could hold it in 3 days. You're a camel. You could hold it in 3 days. If you have the slightest urge, you're not allowed to daven.
What does it say, 72 minutes?
72 minutes is, if you can hold it in 72 minutes and you daven, you have to daven again. If, let's say you could hold it in 72 minutes. Let's say you could hold it in 3 hours. You're not allowed to daven l'charchila. If you did daven, then b'diavad you're yotzeh. The shiur of 72 minutes is only if you didn't go to the bathroom, whether you have to daven again. But even if you could hold it in, you're still not allowed to daven l'charchila. Yeah, that's a very important halacha. But what if the zman tefillah will pass? Now there were big rebbes that davened every day, very, very late in the morning, because they were super machmir on this. But we're about to see in the Mishnah Berura that if you could hold it in 72 minutes, even if you have an urge, don't miss zman tefillah. You can miss tefillah b'tzibor, but not zman tefillah. Amnam imroya shal yidei zeh sheyivdoik yavar zman tefillah legamri. However, if you see that by checking yourself, the zman. Now I want to explain what this means. Checking yourself means you go to the bathroom, you go into the restroom, and you see if you gotta go. L'chayra, that's what yivdoik means. Why? Why do I think that's what it means? Because Mishnah Berura says, if by checking you're going to miss the zman tefillah, what do you mean checking? I'm determining whether I have to go. It takes a millisecond. It seems like it takes more than a millisecond. So, l'chal hapachas, it doesn't just mean you think, oh, do I have to go to the bathroom or not? It means you make an evaluation. Whether that evaluation is in the restroom, I'm not sure. But it does seem like the ideal course of action is before you daven, you should go to the bathroom. So the bottom line is that if you can't hold it in 72 minutes, you can't daven, even if you're going to miss man tefillah. If you could hold it in 72 minutes, you're allowed to daven if you're going to miss the zman tefillah, but you're not allowed to daven if you're just going to miss minyan. Because davening with the guf naki is even more important than davening with the minyan. What about learning? Are you allowed to learn if you have to go to the bathroom? Afilu b'divrei Torah. V'chol shekain b'kriyas shema ushar brachos. What about going to a shiur? The Makar Chaim says it's mutter. I was going to say, there's a bir halacha later on, I see the Dersha brings it. What if you need to be yotzei havdalah and you have to go to the bathroom? Could you be yotzei shemea ka'ina if you have to go to the bathroom? It's a shaila whether you could be yotzei shemea ka'ina if you have to go to the bathroom, or you need to go to the bathroom, or do we require you to go to the bathroom first? What about you have to go to the bathroom and you hear thunder and lightning. It's machlokes later on, soon Reish Chav Zayin. Are you allowed to say Moida Ani if you have to go to the bathroom? I would say, of course. That's why they were Masakin Moida Ani. That's why there's no name of Hashem. Who doesn't have to go to the bathroom when they wake up in the morning? Yeah, the Reb Chaim Kanievsky though says L'chayra it's mutter. The shaila is not really, are you allowed to say Dvarim Shabbat? The shaila is not really saying Moida Ani out Dvarim Shabbat Kedusha. The question is, Bal Teshaksu. By saying, let's say you can't hold it in 72 minutes. So should you say Moida Ani, or should you run to the bathroom? It sounds, Reb Chaim says you'd be allowed to say Moida Ani, but you're not supposed to learn if you have to go to the bathroom. It's certainly Kriya Shema and Shar Brachos. If the Yevid Mashma Dera Prim Gadam, Dein Tzarach Lachzar V'Likrois. You would not have to go back and do it again. B'chein Kasav HaRamban B'Melchamos, that you would not have to make the bracha again. So long as, but you're not allowed to learn if your body is Meshukatz B'Nekavav, says Mishra, V'film Eina Mesa'ave Kol Kach. This is very important. Even if you don't have such a big urge, Sheyehei Boi Mishum Bal Teshaksu, that would be a violation of Bal Teshaksu. Kivan She'enoi, meaning, we're not even talking about where you can't hold it in 5 minutes. But let's say you can't hold it in 72 minutes. Kivan Sheni Yachal Amid Ad Parsa. What if you could hold it in more than 72 minutes? So we know you're not allowed to daven Shema Esrei, but you are allowed to say Kriya Shema, and you are allowed to learn. The din that you're not allowed to, the din that if you can't hold it in, the din that even more than 72 minutes you're not allowed to daven, that's only for Shema Esrei. It does not apply to Shema. So the Parsha mutar afilu b'Kriya Shema. If let's say you have an urge, but you could hold it in 72 minutes, you could say Shema about Shar Tshuva le'elbas and vav sivkad. Hey, machmer, the Shar Tshuva is machmer about Shema. And the Shar Tshuva is machmer that even if you could hold it in more than 72 minutes, you're not allowed to learn. It's interesting. In Siman Vav Sivkatan Hey, here, this is very interesting. In Siman Vav, let's turn back for a moment. In Siman Vav Sivkatan Tes in the Mishnah Berura, the Mishnah Berura talks about a case where the Dirshu quotes Sivkatan Tes. Siman Vav Sivkatan Tes. Oh, there the Mishnah Berura brings down Achem be'ez shenoito yadav v'tzarach l'nakavav sha'afilu b'divrei Torah aser va'afilu yachal lahamed atzmai ad parsa ein lo levarach al netilas yadayim. It's interesting that in Siman Vav Sivkatan Tes, the Mishnah Berura only brings down the opinion of the Shari Tshuva that you should be machmer even if you could hold yourself in for more than 72 minutes for Kriya Shema and Torah. Here, the Mishnah Berura brings down an opinion, a lenient opinion, from the Pri Megadim that uva parsa mutar afilu b'Kriya Shema. Why earlier did the Mishnah Berura not bring down that opinion? So, Reb Chaim Kanievsky says that the Mishnah Berura here brings down two opinions to understand that b'makam atzarach you could be mekel. Meaning, when it comes to Kriya Shema or Shar Brachos or Torah, there is a lenient opinion. Ve'im hu malame Torah rabim oidoresh. What if somebody's teaching Torah publicly, or he's a darshan, uve'emtza nitzarach l'nakavav afilu gedolim, and in the middle he has a very big urge for gedolim. Muter loy lishois atzmai. He could hold it in. He's allowed to continue giving the share. Why? The Baal Teshaksu Huraki Surah Derabanan. Baal Teshaksu is only rabbinic. Umebnei Kavod Abriyos Nidche. And because of the embarrassment of being in a public situation, then that could be pushed aside. Meaning it's not because the mitzvah of Talmud Torah pushes away the Baal Teshaksu. Not because of the mitzvah of Talmud Torah. It's because of the public humiliation. So l'char, somebody's about tefillah. He's in the middle of davening. And it would be embarrassing for him to step out. For Gedolim, he would be allowed to continue. Yeah. One more second. Okay, we'll hold it over here. Okay, we'll continue Bez Hashem tomorrow in Sif Beis. Have a good day, everyone.
How's it supposed to be? How long?